What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bio today, BIO. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. It is the 19th of August, and here we are, sitting at about 12.8 cents with 20 hours and 53 minutes left in the day. We've had a little bit of volatility over the past couple of days, and a massive, absolutely massive rally since, since June 22nd. You saw a nice 3.7x almost right there. That's some good growth in a short amount of time, especially when most coins during this phase haven't really been doing the same. And over the past, really, it's been over this past like week or two that you've seen a lot of growth, and the past couple of days especially. I would assume that we found a relative high. I would assume that we come back down a little bit, but I don't think that it's going to be anything too dramatic, right? I don't think that we're going to see it plummet all the way to zero. I very much do believe that we're on our way higher to higher prices, and we'll go over that in a second. But I do believe in it, and I want to start off with this first, that I think that we will go lower. You look at the market cap, $213 million, very low market cap, and that's nice to see, but $332 million in volume at the high. I don't know, if a lot of volume comes in at the high, what would you think is going to happen? I think that we're going to go down probably to some degree. Right, over the past 24 hours, that was the candle we got. We didn't pump with that volume. We were neutral. We had a spinning top. We're probably going to come down a little bit, and I mean down. We're down 3% already today. If we're looking at this here on a 1 hour time frame, a lot of volume, man, a lot of volume, and it's kind of died off here as we're moving down. I think that there was some distribution going on. People are offloading their bags or FOMOing the top, and now we're just waiting for that drop. You're probably going to correct back down. I would assume that you come back to about 11 cents, maybe even 10 cents, psychological support at 10 cents. Yes, pretty dramatic drop from here, but nothing too crazy, right? This is crypto. Those kind of drops, 20 to 30% drops, they happen all the time. Low to high, golden ratio is at 11.4 to 11 cents itself, 786 at 10.5 to 10 cents at the 886. All probable outcomes. You found support at the 0.5, came up, found resistance at the 0.69, back at the 382 now. The next target destination would be 11.4 to 11 cents itself. I'm very strongly in the belief. I feel like I'm talking like Donald Trump. I'm strongly in the belief. My belief is strongly huge. It's probably the most belief that you've ever seen, really. But I think that we will go to the golden ratio. I have pretty strong conviction that we're going to go down there. If not, 10.5 cents. I don't know if we get down to 10 cents, but I accept it. It's very possible. And if you are to break below this low, just understand at that point it's very possible to come down to this area because you have this overall M shape to you. That doesn't mean that you're going to get it, okay? It doesn't mean that you have to go down there. I want to take a low to high and just see what the extensions would imply. Low to high here. 1272 is at 11 cents. Golden ratio down there at 10 cents. Just saying, 11 cents to 10 cents is actually a very viable outcome for this thing to the downside, all right? And that's okay if it does do that. Looking at this here on the 1 hour, not bearish divergence, but you did have a very nice uptrend on your RSI, and you've broken out of that. Now you're forming a downtrend, so lower you go. Stochastics are oversold, which is bearish. Building bearish momentum on the MACD, bearish. 4 hour time frame. You do have bearish divergence here, but that divergence is already played out. You don't have to go lower. The divergence is here as well in the stochastics. You did reject the overbought, so that would tell me that you do go lower. MACD looks all right. I mean, you cross above the zero, which is nice, but maybe you come back down to the zero for a bounce, and then you move up. I certainly don't expect that we go below this low here. I certainly don't expect that. Daily time frame here, bearish divergence as well. You've already made the move down. I don't think by this definition you need to go lower, but I wouldn't be surprised if you did, rejecting the overbought zone here. Wouldn't be surprised if you at least came back down to the 50. The last time that you did that, you came down a good bit. You're up a little bit higher, so I mean, come down, do the same thing, right? Consolidate in this area before you move up higher. I think that's what's going to happen. Inevitably, I think that we will go higher, and now let's talk about that. Okay, where is your ultimate destination? Because it's not to the downside. It's to the upside, right? Low to high, hit your 1272, came down, found support here. That's actually a very bullish area to find support. Hit the 1414, now you come down. You probably find support around that 100 area. Perfect, right there. When you move up higher, I think that you're set not to stop at the golden ratio, but higher. So 22 cents, 43 cents, right? This is your secondary target zone, the 1886 to the 2618 secondary target zone. You've already stopped in your primary target zone, so I think once you start moving up again, you will progress to that next area, 22 to 44 cents, okay? And then you should be working your way higher, I would assume, because again, this is a massive, absolutely massive W pattern. The way the W's work is where the W begins, you typically end just above that W, okay? You have your 3618 all the way at $1.07. Psychological resistance at $1, $1.25. Maybe even go a little bit higher than that. Okay. Could you see $2.06, 60 cents maybe? Do we have anything with no, that's not the one. Biop. Is there anyone with all-time history? Would it be pro? Yeah, look at that. You gotta, man. Oh, the day that I discovered that. Oh, look at that. Good. We get a little bit more accurate readings on the historical data here. I trust these readings a little bit more than I do, because with Binance you get that intense exchange first day mania. Like that high might not be relevant. Let's just see high to low here. I think by the end of September, if not sometime in October, you'll be up at about $1.07, if not $1.25 at the highest, at your all-time high areas, if not just above them, which makes sense with the W pattern that you would go just above them. That would imply from the current price of about 12.8 cents, 12.85 cents, an overall move that is something on the lines of an 8x to a 9x move, and that's from the current price. If it goes down to where I think it's going to go down to about 10 cents or 11 cents, let's just say 11, let's get on the high end there, a little bit above 11 even, turns it into an 11x maximum potential, 11x maximum to about a 10x minimum, so if you scoop it at the right areas. I got nothing else for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button, please. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. You know, we'll touch back on this one. I think this thing has some potential. If you're looking for a low cap gem, you know, do your own research. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. Do your own research. This thing is not something that you want to hold for the long term. What I mean is like for 10 years, right? Because if you're looking at the circulating supply, there's 1.6 billion circulating, and there's 3.2 billion max supply. So it's like 50% of the way there. There's a lot to be diluted, and over time that will hurt the value. That doesn't mean that it can't grow over time. That doesn't mean that it can't see new highs or something can't happen that's beneficial, but I'm just saying for the long term, I typically don't like to hold coins for the long term that have 50% or more of their token supply that's not circulating, right? I want like 10% or less, really, typically, right? But for this cycle, sure, it's fine. It's totally fine. Most of these coins are not going to get released by the end of this cycle. Anyways, I got nothing else, you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one, and bye-bye.